but you already knew how to help your people. That's what you came to me with already.
Right,
You
right.
know what I mean? So that's the first thing. Now, in terms of how to fulfill on the program, you can add whatever elements you want to add to it. So like one of the things you just mentioned was worksheets, right? So if you're gonna add worksheets to the program, how you design it is up to you. There's no rule around how to design a worksheet. At the end of the day, it ain't about how cool it looks. It's cool if it looks good and it's on brand. However, what's the purpose of the worksheet? So let me ask you this: if you was to add worksheets to your program, what would be the purpose of it? So give me one of your topics, and then give me an example of a worksheet that you would give them that would help pull that out of them. You could do something as simple as either go to like do like a Word document. So you could go like
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft Word, or you can go to Canva. You ever use Canva?
Yo, I actually got the pro account. That's what I've been on
Go.
lately.
Perfect. All right, so go to Canva. Canva has they have a template. They have they have a template. It really doesn't matter what template you use, but you can go to like a I think they have like a PDF one, or basically whatever one is like 8 by 11. You can use one of those, right? Only because people are used to filling it out that way, right? But you can create like a Canva template. It might be better to do it in Word now that I'm thinking about it, because people are going to be filling it out, right? So if they're gonna be filling it out, it might just be better just to do it in Word. But either way, you can use a Canva template, and they just gotta fill it out separately, like in a notebook or something. Or you can do it in Microsoft Word. And your goal is to come up with the questions, just like you said, to get them thinking on honesty. And you do that for you usually do a worksheet for every one of those topics, right? Because you got actions and takeaways, and you want them to think about each and every one of the topics they need to learn, right?
Right.
So you would create a worksheet for that, and then you would have whatever your top 3 to 5 questions are on the worksheet that really make them think about it, think about whatever the topic is, and then you give them an exercise to do, and then that exercise is how they're gonna actually apply that whatever that topic is. Which means that I was already in a game 2 years with no playbook. I was literally just coaching, right? And I think we had like a Facebook group or whatever, but there was no playbook, right? And then over time, I created this workbook, because that's all the playbook is a workbook, right? So
Yeah.
I created this workbook because I'm like, okay, let me give some organized, because I see some of the same questions keep coming up, and some of these are some of the gaps. So I just created something that as soon as everybody come in on onboarding, that's what you get. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
I didn't wait. But I didn't say, yo, I gotta wait until I have this, and I would have still been waiting. You know what I'm saying? And I would
Right.
have never helped anybody. So go out, start helping people today. Right now, your offer could literally just be we get on the phone for 12 weeks. But then you can add on, as you get more things, you can add on more elements to your offer or to your program. Yeah, just start helping people,
Yo.
and
Yeah, just start helping people.
you'll know what to add to the program as time goes on. And like you might realize that there's certain things that you never even thought to add to the program until maybe like a couple of your clients mentioned it, and you're like, damn, that would be a good idea. And I remember my coach at the G checked me one day. He was just like, yo, Terrell, stop performing. He was like, he said, you performing. I never knew what he meant. And he told me that a couple of times. I'm like, yo, why you keep saying I'm performing? I'm like, yo, what are you talking
Mm-hmm.
about? But I realized that I was performing because I felt like he was like, and then one day he said, "You're not on stage. Stop performing." And I said, "Oh." I said, every time I get in front of people, it's almost like I'm extra with it, just to try to look like I'm better, or sound like I'm better, or you feel what I'm saying, or look like I know what I'm talking about. Instead, just being myself, and just be real, and just talk to people, and just give them what they need, and just follow the system. You know what I mean? And then that's when things started clicking with me. So like how we talking right now, we vibing, and and I asked you questions, and you know how to answer. Like just give this same type of authenticity and this same type of conversation to your clients, and just follow the steps that we laid out in order to build it and start getting in front of people and getting on the phone with them. And as long as you doing that and you being yourself, you can't lose. What is the minimum we need to have in order to take this product to market and sell it?
Mm.
So one, we already talked about one part of it, which is as long as you can get on the phone with people and your phone works and you're paying your bill, like that's minimum. That's all you need, right? That's one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the second thing is you need to be able to accept money. So, what does it take for you to accept money? However, at the same time, I mean, you don't want to look. What's the best way? Like, you don't want it to look like
Scammy or nothing.
yeah, right, exactly. You don't, yeah, exactly. You don't want it to look like a scam. You feel what I'm saying? Like they're going to pay for something and they don't see no photo. It ain't. It's a blank invoice. Like it just look crazy. So your thing is at least put something there that at least looks nice, but don't over engineer it. So like if you don't have a logo yet, then don't put a logo. You feel what I'm saying? Just go to Canva, create like a little thumbnail or whatever. Put the name of your program on it, right? And then use that as the photo. And then if you want to use a logo as the photo at some point, you can. When you sign up and I send you an invoice, um, do I even use my logo? I think I do use the logo, but basically I'm using like my logo is on the thumbnail and then I just uploaded that. So don't over engineer it. Like all of the like the cute stuff like that, don't over engineer that.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the brand like you want it to look decent, but you don't want to spend too much time and too much money on it initially. You really just want to kind of get out there, start helping people, and as you generate more revenue, you can spend more time on like the branding aspect of it.
Okay.
Most people they spend too much time on the branding and they never get around to making money and then they go broke and then they gotta quit. Like that's what happens.
Story.
that
You're right.
that's what happens, right? And I almost got caught in that cycle too until I started getting coaches and it was like, Terrell, your focus is like all over the place. Like you need to like do this and you do that over time. First is making sure that the house is built, which means that level two is straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't throw no house parties. Like Chipotle can't sell no burritos if the you feel what I'm saying? Like if the Chipotle if the store ain't built, you feel what I'm saying? You feel me? So so it's the same thing. Like so handle what you need to handle with the invoicing. Make sure that that's straight. Send an invoice to your wife. You know what I mean? Make sure that everything looks good and have her pay for it. You know what I mean? Just it's going back into the same account anyway, probably. So just you feel what I'm saying? So just have her do that. You know? Yeah. So I mean, whatever it is, right? But just test it is what I'm saying. So test it because I didn't pay for it yet, right? When I did it, I tested it, so I know you can send invoices. However, once you upload the little photo and you add a little description, in the description just add like what are the services that they get, because right now you're going to be using that as like that's really going to be your terms, right? So you using that, we actually creating contracts right now, so y'all can start sending out contracts if y'all want to send out contracts. But the invoice can technically be used as a contract, so technically it is a contract, so you can put the terms of it inside of the actual invoice. And how I usually use the terms is I just tell them what they get with the program and for how long. That's how I use it.
Okay.
If you want an example of what that looks like, just look at what I sent you. So what I'm saying is that once you're ready to get clients, start putting out content, because I do want you to have some content first, right? Because the first thing people do when you start having conversations with them, they're gonna look you up. And I at least want them to be able to do one flick of their thumb, one scroll, and see consistent content. Right? Like I at least want them to be. I at least want them when they go to your page, even if they didn't scroll, I want them to be able to see like at least 6 to 12 pieces of content that's specifically related towards your industry. Because if they don't see nothing, they're not going to be able to make the decision. Why should I even have a conversation with this guy? Because I don't even see you as the authority on this because you're not posting about it. Right.
Makes sense.
So first is start posting, like at least get 6 to 12 pieces of content up before you do the lead generation strategies.
Oh.
And